Coach Sanford will make an opening statement, and we'll take your questions.
Okay, first thing, I just want to say that was an outstanding win. I congratulate our players. I think our players prepared well. I think we believed we were going to win. We expected to win, and went out and did it, and I'm very proud of them. I got to give a lot of credit to Liberty University, their program, Coach Turner Gill. They are a good football team, and they're a great-looking football team. They're just a good football team, and I'm very proud of our team for the way we played, and I'm very excited about going into Missouri Valley Conference play next week. We've got Northern Iowa coming in here, and that's a huge game for us, and we're excited about that.
Mike, if you had to pinpoint it, what are you most impressed with about this game?
You know, I think the fact that we just kept playing for 4 quarters, you know, I think that was the thing. Our plan to win for this particular game, one of the things was we had to play for 4 quarters, and I felt like we did that. You know, there was a little bit of a lull there in the 3rd quarter where the offense didn't do quite as well. The defense kept holding up their end of the bargain really well. Offense struggled a little bit, but you know, then we were able to capitalize in the 4th quarter, and our overall plan to win is to win the 4th quarter, and we did do that. We won the 4th quarter.
Can you talk about what you've done to get Mike into rhythm this year? We've talked about it a little bit ourselves, but today that was really evident. I mean, he was really on, especially in the first half. What kind of things are you doing offensively to get him into that state?
Well, I think from the beginning what we did is we looked at what Mike does well and what our strengths are. And, you know, I have a background with some things that didn't actually fit what Mike does well. But I have background in other things that do fit. And so we've kind of tailored the offense to what Mike does well. Mike's our guy, obviously. And we went into the year with that idea. We went into spring practice with that idea. And I think, you know, the other thing I want to give a lot of credit to is our receiving core. And one guy in particular, Robert Tanya. You know, that's kind of a weird guy for me to bring up right now. But, you know, just an unselfish, great guy. You know, a hard deal for him to move to receiver from quarterback. And as you can see, he's, you know, one of the best receivers out on the field. I think we have a good receiving core, and the exciting thing is we have some guys that can keep getting better as the season goes on. And I think the original question was about Mike, and I think a lot of that is that our receivers are playing with discipline, and I think that's a huge thing in making Mike feel comfortable. Mike is very confident in the offense. He knows exactly what to do. He knows where to go with the football. We weren't perfect today. We made some mistakes. Mike, you know, with all the positive things that he did, he had a turnover today. And he was as upset as I've ever seen anybody about something. And the first thing he said, he told everybody, I'm going to make up for that. So I have a lot of respect for Mike.
When you look at, you know, both the receivers and Mike in the respect of success, beginning a little bit of success, are you noticing their confidence come up with the success, and as part of that, maybe bringing a little bit more focus to, can confidence equal focus on the field?
Absolutely,
sometimes?
and I think that's a bottom line. One of the things we've talked about is having a balance on our team between confidence on the one hand, and we're doing everything we have worked hard to build confidence. But at the same time, you've got to have humility on the other side. It's just, you know, there's things in life that have to be balanced, and confidence and humility need to all be balanced, and that's a huge thing for this team right now. And specifically for the receiving core.
When you look at the defense, I mean, Liberty had 33 rushing yards, and they were trying to establish it. It's not like they gave it up. You know, maybe is that, among the many things they did, is that maybe the most impressive?
Huge. I mean, one of the, you know, the other part of what we said we needed to do to beat this team was we had to stop the run. And our defense did a great job of that. Even though they have as good-looking receiving crew as I've seen in FCS football. And they have a great-looking quarterback who is very good. And at the same time, you look at those things, they're a run football team. They're 60% run. And we had to stop the run to put them into a one-dimensional game, which that helped us, I think, as a game. but our defense did a great job. Not only stopped the run, but got turnovers. I think we got 4 turnovers today, and we're close on some others.
What do you, we're a third of the way through the season. What do you take to the bank in terms of, I know I'm going to have this going into a game, now that you've seen this team play 4 games? Where are you at on that?
You know, that's a hard question for me to answer, Todd, because football, I've learned over the years, is a week-to-week thing, and it's whatever happens next week. You got to enjoy the win for 24 hours, but it's about next week. And to me, we are taking steps. You know, this season is about steps. In my mind, we haven't proven anything yet. We have put together, and I talked to our team about this today, when you are building a case in court, you need to develop proof along the way to develop your case. And we have put some proof together, you know, and shown some steps along the way of developing proof. But like you know, Todd, we've been talking about this for a while. Our deal is about proving. We have not arrived. We're on a journey, and we've got a lot more football to play. We've got 8 more very difficult games, starting with a top 25, probably top 10 football team in Northern Iowa coming in here next week into our stadium, which, you know, that's huge. And you know, to me, it's enjoy this one for 24 hours, but it's about, we got to prepare for Northern Iowa.
Go ahead.
Sorry, 3rd win in a row for you guys. Talk a little bit about how important that momentum is going into conferences right next week.
I think it's huge. I think that, you know, I think confidence is kind of like what I've talked about, building a case, you know, building a case to prove a case. Confidence is the same way. You know, there is evidence that we could gain confidence from. Now, the key thing is using that for a positive and building forward, but at the same time, knowing that we have so much more to do. You know, we are, you know, let's face it, we were 0-8 in the Missouri Valley Conference last year. Let's tell it exactly like it is. And to me, we have a lot of work to do, and we've got our work cut out. You know, we got to be 1-0 next week. That's our deal.
Mike, I guess if there's one thing that maybe still has to be proven somewhat, even though the numbers aren't bad today, is a sustained running game. There were some good runs in it. It brought your numbers up a little bit, especially on some delayed handoffs. But it doesn't seem like the running game is sustaining drives the same way the passing game is. And maybe that's partly a product because the passing game is sustaining drives. But do you want to see more?
I would agree 100% with what you just said. We need to run the football better. I mean, statistically, rushing yards, we ended up with 128. That's respectable, but you know, it's not good enough, and we need to be much better running the football. We've got to be able to have more balance, because when you become one-dimensional, just like I was talking about Liberty, trying to stop their run so they became one-dimensional. One of the things that will make us good is if we are a two-dimensional team and we do both, run and pass.
Yeah, it seemed like Liberty was more willing to bring a little bit of pressure in the second half because of that. Is that the danger?
Yeah, I think that's part of it. And then, you know, I think being able to take advantage of what people are doing, you know, defending the pass, we got to be able to run the football. And so that's something moving forward. That's something we must improve. And I think we also need to improve protection, just in general. We had a couple of sack fumble situations. We've got to eliminate those and improve that.
Any other questions for Coach? Coach, thank you.
Okay.